Hi, I'm Nathan Cruz and I'm wearing a very tight t-shirt inside my toy room. I absolutely loved Power Rangers as a kid. To this day, I still watch the episodes of it on Netflix. Even though I can look at them now as an adult and think about how cheesy they are and how kind of poorly acted they are. No offense to Jason David Frank. I just loved it. I absolutely loved it, and it was such a staple of my childhood, and it was for many kids who grew up in the 90s. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, once again, was produced by Fox Kids and aired on the 28th of August 1993. However, that isn't where it started. Most people who know the history of Power Rangers will know this, that it actually started in Japan as Zyu Ranger. Somebody by the name of Heinz Saban, who runs Saban Productions, was basically trying to sell this to a lot of TV networks and was failing miserably at it. Nobody wanted to touch it. They thought it was too violent, they thought it was too goofy, they didn't think it'd sell. But that beautiful woman, Margaret Losh, well, she saw something in it and she took a gamble on it. So basically, she put her career on the line, because when the guys at Fox found out about this, they wasn't too happy. They thought it was stupid, all those things, and they thought it was going to bomb. Well, it didn't. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers became an absolute phenomenon. In the 90s, it was pretty much the biggest thing in the world for kids. In their original series of toys that released in 1993, sold out in Toys R Us globally, not just in the United States, globally. There was fights for it. In fact, one of my favourite Christmas films, Jingle All the Way, is loosely based on the record sales of Buzz Lightyear and the record sales of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I mean, there was literally, toy stores was getting trashed because people was trying to get hold of the original Megazord for that Christmas. The following year, they was looking at the toy range again and thinking, well, what can we do? And they rebranded the show, they shifted things around a bit, and they took some other Japanese footage from the newer version of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers over there, or Zyu Ranger as it's called in Japan, and they launched the series that pretty much I fell in love with, which gave us the Thunder Megazord. Now this is the Legacy Thunder Megazord that released later on, not the original Thunder Megazord, which I did have as a kid and I regrettably sold at a jumble sale. It still pains me to this day. So yeah, when I started toy collecting and they launched this, I had to have the Legacy Thunder Megazord. And again, big shout out to my fiance. This showed up on Christmas morning. In fact, she bought me a lot of this amazing stuff for my Power Rangers collection. And my favourite Power Ranger was the Green Ranger. And one item that I always wanted was a replica Green Ranger helmet. And that's right there. Gemma bought me that our first Christmas together. And this was before they'd actually launched an official one of these. This is when you had to just kind of go on eBay and find like a creator in Korea. When I opened that Christmas, I was a kid all over again. Green Ranger was my favourite Power Ranger because he was a bad guy to begin with. And he just looked cool. He had a shield. Green's my favourite colour, and his Zord was pretty much, I mean, I was certain it was just Godzilla. They based it on Godzilla and made him into, I mean, even the logo here, that kind of looks like Godzilla, right? And I was a huge Godzilla punter at that point as well. So this was just amazing to me. The toys themselves, again, did so well, and in 1994, when they launched the Thunder Megazord and the White Tiger Zord and Torn, the second series, there was something else that was missing that they wanted, and that was the flip heads. Now, some of you may still have these, some of you may remember them. Be the teenager's head and you flip it and boom, they turn into the Power Ranger. And those toys did so well in 1994 that that Christmas, they absolutely dominated. They'd excelled the sales that they'd made the year before, which had been $1 billion. So they managed to beat that the following year based on these flip heads. There was basically the reasons for the success. It kills me to this day that I don't have any of them anymore. As I mentioned, I sold a lot of stuff on a jumble sale when I was a kid. In fact, one of the only things that remains from the 90s collection is Ninja up there, because nobody wanted to buy Ninja. I had it, and I don't know why. But I sold my Shogun Megazord, that broke my heart. Sold my Thunder Megazord, my original Dragon Zord. This one I managed to find from a friend and purchase. I've got original 1990s Dragon Dagger, again. Thank you, Gemma, for buying me that one Christmas. Since then, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, obviously the success they had back then, they knew that they could still capitalise off this, and there's been so many different relaunches from this over the years by different toy companies. Now, the original toy company that had it was Bandai America, and before then, Bandai America was just known for basically making chalk. They'd not really had a success. Power Rangers brought them to the dance and made them a staple of toy companies in that time in the 1990s. And they continued to produce toys right into the early 2000s when they re-released stuff. One of my favourites would be these. It's by SH Figure Arts and Bandai. Just everything about these, the colour, just getting the right colour, the Green Ranger for example, the points of articulation in it. I just think these are beautiful action figures. Again, I've never taken this out of the box and I never will. If you do take them out, they just look incredible. It may as well just be the actor stood up a miniature version. Now more recently, Hasbro purchased the rights from Hansaban to produce Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and they've released something recently called the Lightning Collection, and we've seen so many amazing cool things come out, even from the comic book series. Shattered Grid, we see Lord Draken, which of course is an evil Tommy who's got both powers of the Green and White Ranger, which are his two most powerful and successful and popular Power Ranger costumes. Also up here, my best friend Matt Myers bought me this Christmas the staff that the Gold Ranger from Power Rangers Zeo had. Now I followed Power Rangers right up until Power Rangers Zeo, and then they went into Turbo, and much like many people at that point, my brain just switched off. They went from having these amazing robotic Zords that was like dinosaurs and different monsters and stuff that were in like a robotic version, to basically driving cars. And yeah, I just wasn't bothered about it, and nobody else was, and that's kind of where the toy line slipped off. And it's bounced back through generation and generation with different incarnations of Power Rangers, from SPD, Lightspeed Rescue, Ninja Storm, I don't even know, I lost count. For that original series, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, all the way up to Zeo, I thought was incredible, and it's such a huge part of my childhood. I'm sure they're a huge part of your childhood. I'm determined to add to this collection as the years go on. I do want all those original flip heads. I really want a version of the Shogun Megazord. So here's a little thing. When I was a kid, they had the Shogun Megazord. One of the left arms, when you piece it all together, was pink, but in the TV show it never was, because at that point the Pink Ranger had lost the powers, so it was a white one. But they never released one with the white arm, at least to my knowledge. Hasbro, if you're listening, can we please get a Shogun Megazord with the white arm? And I also need to get the original Shogun Megazord and Ninja Zord. I've got a lot of Power Rangers still to collect to add to this collection. I've predominantly just got Green Ranger stuff because Green Ranger's my favourite. If you're liking this, please like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell so you're notified when the next episode comes up. But until then, this world needs me. It's morphin' time! Batteries need replacing. Supposed to sing a little song.